In the hills of eastern Zimbabwe, where red earth meets blue sky and msasa trees shimmer in the heat, there lived a man who chose love when others chose fear. His name was John Bradburne. Born in England in 1921, John was never meant for an ordinary life. He served as a soldier during World War II, but even amid the noise of battle, his heart was searching for something greater. After the war, he wandered across Europe and the Middle East on foot, living simply, praying deeply, and writing poetry that burned with longing for God. He eventually became a Franciscan tertiary embracing poverty, humility, and radical trust. But his true calling was waiting in Africa, a forgotten place called Mutemwa. In 1969, John arrived at Mutemwa Leprosy Settlement, near Motoko in eastern Zimbabwe, at that time called Rhodesia. What he found broke his heart. The people there were suffering not only from leprosy, they were suffering from rejection. Many had been abandoned by families. They lived in poor conditions, neglected and unseen. Most visitors stayed a short time. John stayed 10 years. He did not live comfortably. He built himself a small tin and pole hut on a rocky hill above the settlement. There was no electricity, no running water. He bathed in a stream. He prayed for hours each night. He ate simply. And every day, he walked down the hill to serve. He washed wounds. He dressed ulcers. He cooked meals. He sang with the residents. He treated each person as royalty. He called them his friends. At the time, many people were still afraid of leprosy. They feared infection. They feared deformity. John did not. He embraced those others avoided. He kissed hands scarred by disease. He insisted that every human being carried the image of God. When donations ran out, he begged for food. When medicine was scarce, he wrote letters across the world asking for help. When loneliness pressed in, he climbed his hill and sang hymns into the African night. He also wrote thousands of letters and poems, mystical, joyful, sometimes eccentric, always full of fire. Some thought him strange, but no one doubted his love. In the days leading up to his murder, John sensed that danger was close. He spoke of feeling unsettled in his hut and asked the leprosy patients to pray for him. Though urged to leave Mutemwa, he chose to remain, telling them that a great angel had asked him to stay. In the midst of rising tension, he devoted himself to prayer and prepared inwardly for whatever might come. After being abducted on the night of the 2nd of September, 1979, John was held and questioned over several days. Despite being repeatedly offered opportunities to save himself by leaving Mutemwa or going into exile, he refused to abandon the people of Mutemwa, entrusted to his care. His response to accusation and threat was silence, prayer, and remarkable peace. Late on the night of the 4th of September, John was shot on the road near Motoko. Villagers who witnessed what followed were terrified for their own lives, yet deeply disturbed by what they had seen. His body was left on the road, and those nearby struggled with fear, grief, and confusion as they debated how to protect him from further desecration and themselves from retaliation. Several villagers later spoke of extraordinary occurrences during the night, which filled them with awe and fear, and prevented them from approaching his body. At dawn, Fr. David Gibbs traveled from All Souls Mission and found John lying peacefully by the roadside. He closed John's eyes, prayed beside him, and brought his body to the mortuary at Motoko. The news spread quickly. At Mutemwa, the community were devastated. Mass was offered for the repose of John's soul, and sorrow was felt across Motoko and beyond. People of all races spoke of their anger, grief, and admiration for a man they recognized as wholly given to God. John's death marked the end of his earthly life, but not the end of his witness. What followed was a profound awareness that a life of fidelity, courage, and love had been sealed in martyrdom. Today, pilgrims still climb the hill to see the simple hut where he prayed. His grave lies at Mutemwa. Many people believe he lived the kind of holiness that changes history quietly, not through power, but through love. What do you think of this extraordinary love? Let love lead. Bye. See you in another video.